Welcome back to another video, guys. In this one, I'm gonna be showing you everything that I eat in a day. Right now, I'm whipping up my pre-workout meal. As you can see, it is done heating up. This meal is nice, easy, and simple. All it is 200 grams of white rice, 6 ounces of chicken, and then I'm having a piece of fruit. As you saw, I was gnawing on that banana. But this is actually my second meal of the day, so I'm gonna rewind to this morning and show you guys what I ate this morning. All right, so I'm about to eat meal number 1 right now. As you can tell, I'm in a different environment. I'm currently working a shift right now. If I know I'm working in the morning, I will pack like 1 to 2 meals the night before. That way I have food throughout work and I'm not starving the entire morning. But this here is meal number 1. We got 160 grams of white rice and just 6 ounces of chicken. Seasoned salt and pepper, a little bit of hot sauce. Just the usual, the go-to, nothing crazy. But it's currently like 9:30 right now, and I wanted to talk about how like this is technically my breakfast, but I don't even like count my meals as like breakfast, lunch, dinner. I just go by like meals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because chicken and rice is not breakfast. Yeah, I'm gonna eat this real quick, and then I'll see you guys for meal number 2. All right, and now we're back. In total, throughout this day, I'm gonna be eating 5 meals total. Before I train, I usually like to get a minimum of at least 2 meals. And since I'm currently cutting right now, my calories and carbs are lower. So ideally, I like to structure the carbs around my workout. So I have 2 meals with carbs in them before, and then 1 meal with carbs post-workout. The last 2 meals that I'm eating, meals 4 and 5, aren't gonna have a lot of carbs. If anything, it's just gonna be trace carbs from vegetables and other things. So since I'm cutting right now, I actually have a different meal plan on my training day than I do on my off day. So like I said, on my training day, 3 out of the 5 meals have carbs, but on my off day, only 1 of the 5 meal has carbs. So that is the last meal. The way my coach puts it is that there's no need for me to be overloading on carbs on my rest days. That's why the 1 meal that I have it with, it's at the end of the day, it's meal 5, because that next day I'm gonna be training, so those carbs can kind of carry over and help me out there. But in total, I'm gonna put the macros and calories all on the screen, each meal, and then at the end of the video, you guys are gonna see in total how much I'm eating throughout the day. I wanna say it's roughly around like 2,700, around there, but we're gonna know for sure at the end of the video. So, as you saw there, I was just seasoning it up with a little bit of salt and pepper. And this has been my go-to sauce recently. It is the Red Hot Wings. I like this one, it's like the buffalo. It's not super spicy, so I can add like a decent amount to it. And to me, it honestly tastes like chicken wings when I eat it, because it's like it's not like a real spicy hot sauce, it's more of like a buffalo sauce. We are gonna eat this real quick and then probably wait about like an hour or so. I like to have my meals digested before I go and work out. I don't like to lift on like a full stomach. So I'm gonna eat this, and then in a little bit, I'll show you guys what I do for my pre-workout. Eating every last grain of rice. All right, so it's been about an hour since I finished my last meal. I'm all digested and I'm about to go to the gym right now. But first things first, I gotta make my pre-workout. So I'm gonna do 2 scoops of this Leica Pro Pump and Focus. And then on top of that, what I've been doing recently is I've also been having like an intro workout drink as well. So same brand, I really like this Leica Pro. So I got their Glycotrix. This is like a full formula intra workout. If you don't know essentially what an intra workout is, it's basically just fast digesting carbs, electrolytes, and other ingredients to kind of help keep you full and fuel throughout your workout. So I'm just gonna do 1 scoop of this. I believe it's 100 calories per scoop. There's a total of 25 grams of carbs from like clustered dextrin, and then it has like glycerol powder and a bunch of other ingredients. So I'm just doing 1 scoop. I'm also gonna add a little scoop of creatine as well. And then to help flavor it a little, because it doesn't taste like amazing, I'm also gonna do a half packet of liquid IV. And now we go train. So I'm back from the gym and I'm about to whip up my post-workout meal. If you guys have watched my videos in the past, you know my typical go-to post-workout meal is cream of rice with protein powder. A post-workout meal, and honestly a pre-workout meal too, needs to have 2 variables. 1, a fast digesting carb, and 2, a lean protein. In my pre and post workout meals, I stay away from fats. Just stick to the basics, protein and carbs. I do a lean protein like chicken, white fish, something that's easily digestible. My body's gonna be able to break it down easily, shuttle the nutrients, absorb the glycogen, all that goodness. So I'm actually switching it up today. I'm not doing any cream of rice. I got pretty much the same meal that I had for my pre-workout meal. I have 200 grams of rice, 6 ounces of chicken, but I stopped at the store after my workout and I picked up a little bit of rice cauliflower. So I got, this one is plain, then I got a couple other ones that have like some vegetable medley in them. So I'm gonna warm those up. This is a big tip that you guys can use for yourself if you're cutting or in a calorie deficit. You wanna make the most out of your calories. So eating low calorie but high volume foods such as vegetables is gonna keep you satiated, keep you full, and get the most bang for your buck out of your calories. Per serving, it's only like 20 calories and like 4 grams of carbs. So like I said, like trace amount of carbs. I'm gonna cook it now, but I'm probably gonna save those from the last 2 meals since I'm not having any carbs in them. And the rice cauliflower is great because essentially it's just chopped up cauliflower that's very fine. It takes on the flavor whatever you add it to. My next meal is about to be like 8 ounces of salmon, chicken, a lean protein. Just having that on its own is pretty boring and you need to spice it up a little. So I'll add a little bit of this and it's almost like I'm eating rice with it. I'm tricking the brain. It doesn't know what's going on. All right, so I got the cauliflower all cooked up right here. I mixed one of the normal bags with one of the bags with the vegetables in it. So I'm just gonna add like a few tablespoons in there. Not even gonna measure it just because it's such a low amount of calories that I don't even care. I also added a little bit of fried onions to this as well. So I'm just gonna give it a good mix and I'll show you guys what we're working with. The reason I switched it up is one, just to kind of change things up. I hate, not hate, but it is nice switching it up when you're eating the same foods every day. So look at this beautiful bowl. And as you can tell, this is gonna be a lot more satiating and it's gonna keep me fuller for longer than a small little bowl of cream of rice would. So the macros are pretty much essentially the same, but I'm gonna feel a lot fuller for a lot longer eating this rather than eating my typical post-workout meal. Paired with that, I have 100 grams of fruit. As you can see, I have raspberries. Raspberries have become my favorite fruit, starting probably 2 years ago when I did my first prep. What I like to do is I sprinkle a little bit of pink Himalayan salt on them. And to me, honestly, especially when you're in a deep cutting phase, they taste like Gushers. It tastes like candy. Really, really good. Alright, so I got meal number 4 right here. This is my first meal that I'm not having carbs with. So what you see in the bowl here is I have 8 ounces of salmon, and then I have that rice cauliflower with a little bit of fried onions in there as well. Like I mentioned before, if only 3 out of my 5 meals have carbs, I'm gonna center those around my workouts. I'm gonna have 2 meals with carbs pre-workout and then my 1 meal with carbs after. It wouldn't make sense for me to save any carbs for these 2 later meals in the night just because I've already trained. So I'm gonna get more benefit out of eating carbs beforehand and after. Just the timing of nutrition plays an importance. Something you guys should consider in your own diet. I had to step outside to record this because I'm eating with my family. But one thing I hear a lot of people struggle with is that they track their food, they try to do it as best as they can, but when it comes to dinner time, they usually just eat whatever their mom or family is making. Sometimes that's not the healthiest option. I can totally relate to that too. Some days it'll be grilled chicken, fish, other dishes that play into your diet and are acceptable, but then there's other nights where you may be eating pasta, chicken cutlets, or just other foods that necessarily don't fit into your diet. Over the course of time, as I've taken my training and nutrition more seriously, I've just gotten to a point where when it comes to dinner, I essentially pretty much just make my own foods. Just so happened tonight that my mom was cooking salmon, so this is one meal that I actually can enjoy and eat with them. But let's say they're having fried cutlets, guess what? I'm not gonna eat that. It's not my plan. There's so much extra fat, calories, and the breading and oil that is fried in, so it's not even worth it for me. So I'll just still eat with my family, but I'll just eat my own foods that I prepare. I'm gonna make this one quick. I'm gonna eat this up, but as you can see, I loaded it up with that cauliflower. As I mentioned before, just having the protein alone, sometimes it's just boring. There's not a lot to it. So having the vegetables in there, one, is gonna help keep me fuller, more satiated, and just make this more of like a complete meal. So that is meal 4 for you guys. I will see you guys for meal 5 in a few hours. All right, so it is currently just about 9 o'clock and I'm about to be having my last meal, meal number 5. This is nothing special. Honestly, as I was making it, I was realizing that I had chicken for 3 out of my 5 meals, which isn't super fun. Oh no. I actually had chicken 4 out of the 5 meals that I ate. And I guess the reason being is recently, if you guys follow me on Instagram and stuff, you guys know that my go-to hack is going to BJ's, Costco, buy the rotisserie chickens, $5.99 for a whole chicken. You get 1.5 pounds of meat cooked. So it's like a no-brainer. It's cost effective, it saves time, plus it tastes really good too. So that's pretty much why most of my meals are chicken. I do like to switch it up though. Like salmon is probably one of my favorite proteins. I do like eating shrimp a lot. Ground beef is really good too. Those are like the main 4 that I kind of switch and alter between. Thing is, it's just when you buy salmon, shrimp, all these other things, ground beef's not too expensive, but the seafood, it adds up and it gets expensive pretty quick. So, you know, with me eating so much food, I have to kind of I gotta watch the budget a little bit. So that's why most of my meals, I pretty much have chicken. And then if I want to spice up the flavor, I'll either change the seasoning, change the sauce, just add different elements to kind of spice it up. So here we just have 8 ounces of chicken breast, a little bit of the cauliflower rice I made before, and then I saved my fats for this meal. So I just added 50 grams of avocado to this as well. Seasoned with a little bit of salt and pepper. But yeah, this is gonna be the last meal of the day. I'll put the macros and everything on the screen, and then at the end I will total them out for the entire day. So as I was saying before, this is where the cauliflower rice comes in clutch, because if you're eating a meal that only has protein in it, let's say I just had the chicken and the avocado with this meal, that's super boring. You know, there's no substance to it. So adding the cauliflower rice, honestly, I feel like right now my brain is being tricked. I feel like I'm just eating white rice. It's kind of like a no-brainer. Plus, the amount of extra calories that the cauliflower rice is barely anything, and it's gonna keep me a lot more full, a lot more satiated, and overall, a lot more happy. So the reason I save my fats for late at night, like right now for this meal, is because I tend to get hungry at night. I get those late night cravings. Fats are very satiating, they keep you full. In theory, gonna stop me from snacking and cheating on my diet. So adding the avocado to this meal is ultimately just gonna keep me more full and satiated to avoid me from snacking and being a fat ass. That is going to do it for the full day of eating. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am gonna be bulking soon. The cut is coming to an end, so I will do an updated full day eating eventually in a little bit on the bulk. If you guys are into that, comment down below if you would like to see that. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next ones. And I will see you guys in the next video.